I walked into a clothing store yesterday and made a huge mistake. I picked up a t-shirt, looked at it, and thought, yes, this is my size, perfect. I took it to the changing room, put it on, looked in the mirror, and realized it was the size of a small child. My arms couldn't move. My shoulders were trapped. I looked like a man who borrowed clothes from a 10-year-old. I opened the curtain very slowly, hoping nobody would see me. But of course someone saw me. A sales assistant walked by, looked at me, and said, "Oh, that's brave." And that comment changed my life.
My story is even worse. I once tried on a dress, turned around to check the back, and accidentally stepped on the long tag. The tag pulled, the hanger fell, and I almost fell with it. The sales assistant rushed to help me, and I tried to pretend it was all part of my fashion process. Some people shop for clothes. I fight for survival. Welcome back to English Unlocked, Real Talk. Today's episode is part of our new series, talking about where we choose one real-life topic and speak about it the way real people do. Not textbook English. Not artificial dialogues. Real English conversation. Real stories. Real expressions you can use today. And today we are talking about clothes, shopping, trying things on. Sizes, styles, colors, and the absolute chaos that happens inside a fitting room. You will hear long, natural stories. You will follow real dialogues. And you will repeat after us to train your speaking and listening at the same time. Let's begin.
My experience with clothes is even more complicated. Because I trust mirrors, which is a mistake. The mirror in the store is friendly, warm, supportive, and it always lies. One day I found a shirt that looked perfect on the hanger. I tried it on, and in that store mirror, I looked like a man who had his life together. The colors suited me. The fit was excellent. I felt like a walking advertisement. I bought the shirt without thinking twice. At home, I put it on again and looked in my real mirror. And suddenly, things changed. The color looked cheap. The fit was wrong. The shirt made me look like someone who was trying too hard to be stylish. I realized something important. Store mirrors are designed to sell dreams, not reality. At home, the dream collapsed, so I went back to return it. The conversation was painful. The assistant asked, "Was there anything wrong with the shirt?" I said, "No, the shirt is fine. It's my reality that is different." She simply nodded. People who work in clothing stores understand everything without explanation.
Shopping for clothes is a strange emotional experience. Sometimes you walk into a store feeling confident, and 5 minutes later, the mirror destroys your entire personality. You think you know your size, but the clothing industry always has a different opinion. In one store, I am medium. In another, I am large. In the next, I am extra small. I don't change, but the sizes do. One day I needed a jacket for autumn. Simple mission. I went to a store, found a jacket I liked, and asked the sales assistant for my size. She looked at me the way a doctor looks at a patient. Who doesn't know his own condition? She didn't say anything. She just silently handed me 3 different sizes, as if she already knew the drama that was coming. I tried the first one. Too tight. I tried the second one. Too loose. The third one felt perfect. Until I lifted my arms and realized I couldn't move them above shoulder level. I stood there frozen, like a statue trying to pretend everything was normal. The sales assistant asked, "Everything okay in there?" I said, "Yes, everything is fine." But I wasn't fine. I was trapped in a jacket with no plan of escape. It took me 5 long minutes to get out of it without breaking my dignity. When I finally returned the jacket, the assistant just nodded and said, "Classic fit." That was the moment I understood that clothing stores speak their own language.
That whole experience taught me nothing, by the way, because a few months later, I made the same mistake with a jacket. I saw it on a mannequin. It looked intelligent. It looked confident. It looked like the kind of jacket you wear when you finally know what you're doing in life. So of course, I wanted that feeling. I tried the jacket on, and in the store mirror, I looked like a man who reads serious books, drinks strong coffee, and gives good advice to strangers. The material felt expensive. The color felt modern. And for a moment, I actually believed that this jacket would improve my personality. I bought it immediately. But the moment I stepped outside, things became complicated. The jacket was heavier than I remembered. The sleeves felt longer. And the wind revealed something. The store mirror did not. The jacket made me look like a detective from a low-budget movie. I got home, looked in my real mirror, and understood the truth. The jacket wasn't modern. It was dramatic. And not in a good way. It felt like the jacket was wearing me, not the other way around. I went back to the store the next day. The same assistant recognized me. She looked at the jacket, looked at me, and said, "Let me guess. It looked better in the mirror." I nodded. She nodded. No further explanation was needed. She processed the return with the quiet sympathy of someone who has seen this happen many times before, to many people. And as I left, she said, "If it makes you feel better, the mirror lies to everyone." And honestly, that did make me feel better.
Daniel, I swear your fashion stories are better than half of the Netflix shows I've seen. And honestly, I think everyone has experienced this. The store mirror effect. You know, the moment when the mirror says, "You look perfect," and the real world says, "No, you don't." But I have to admit something. I'm exactly the same. I once bought a coat just because I liked the vibe of the person who tried it on before me, not the coat. The percent. The coat wasn't even my size. It was a personality I was trying to buy. So Daniel, you're not alone. We're all victims of dramatic jackets.
Exactly. And you know what? Morning routines are the same. We often try to wear the wrong routine. Something that looks perfect on Instagram, but feels terrible in real life. We think, I'll wake up at 5 a.m. I'll meditate for 40 minutes. I'll drink green juice. I'll run a marathon before breakfast. But in reality, we are tired, hungry, confused, and angry at the alarm clock.
So here's the truth. Your morning routine should fit you, not someone else. Not a lifestyle guru. Not a perfect influencer. Not Danae's dramatic jacket. A real morning routine is simple. Something you can repeat. Something that feels natural. Something that gives you a little more peace than yesterday. And now, let's help our listeners do the same.
Okay, listeners. Now it's your turn. Let's practice some natural phrases you can use to describe your real morning. Not a perfect morning, not a dramatic jacket morning, but your actual honest morning. Ready? Shadowing warm-up. I wake up when I can. I do my best every morning. My morning doesn't have to be perfect.
Great. Now let's build a full natural description of a real morning routine, step by step. Repeat after me. I wake up slowly. I check how I feel. I drink water. I stretch a little. I prepare my mind for the day. You know, Daniel, it's funny how clothes and mornings are actually connected. Because it's the wrong outfit can ruin your morning faster than no coffee. And the right outfit, it can make your whole day better.
Exactly. Sometimes I wake up tired, but I put on a good shirt, good shoes, and suddenly I feel like a responsible adult, or at least a person pretending to be one. I dress to feel better. And honestly, the morning is easier when you like how you look.
Yes. People say don't judge a book by its cover. But we all judge ourselves by the mirror in the morning. If my clothes fit well, if the colors match, I instantly feel more organized, more awake, more confident. I feel confident when I look put together.
Think about it. Mornings are not only about coffee or routines. They're about identity. Who are you today? Sporty? Elegant? Relaxed? Productive? Clothes help us choose. Clothes express who I am today.
Let me ask you, what do you usually wear in the morning? When you work from home?
Honestly, a clean t-shirt and the same comfortable pants I've worn for 3 days. Business on top, pajamas on the bottom. Business on top, pajamas on the bottom.
I knew it. Classic remote worker style. Now, what do you wear when you want to feel productive?
Oh, button-up shirt. Jeans. Nice shoes. Even if nobody sees me. Because when I dress well, my brain says, okay, we are serious today. I dress well to feel productive.
Okay, Daniel. Let me tell you about one of the most chaotic mornings of my life. It was a Tuesday, a normal Tuesday. I woke up late, which already means trouble. I jumped out of bed, ran to the bathroom, and saw my hair. My hair looked like I slept inside a washing machine. So I thought, okay, it's fine. I'll fix it with a good outfit. Because you know, Daniel, when the hair is bad, the outfit must be good. I opened my wardrobe and realized something shocking. Everything I owned was either too dark, too bright, too small, or too mysterious. Then suddenly I saw it. A beautiful rainbow sweater I bought last year. Because Instagram told me I needed more color in my life. So I put it on. Daniel, I looked like a human Skittles bag, a walking rainbow, a colorful traffic accident. But I thought, it's fine. Maybe the world needs more color today. So I ran out of the house. Late, stressed, dramatic, but colorful. And then the universe attacked. First, a little child pointed at me and said, "Look, Mummy, a unicorn." I am not joking. A unicorn. Then a man in a suit looked at me, smiled, and said, "Wow, that's brave. Not beautiful. Not stylish. Brave." And then the final moment, the weather changed. The sky opened. And it started raining. And do you know what happens? When a rainbow sweater gets wet, it becomes a heavy, wet, colorful sponge. That sticks to your body. And it makes you look like a melted ice cream cone. I ran home, looking like a wet unicorn, having an emotional breakdown. I took the sweater off and said to myself, never again. But guess what? Next week, I wore it again. I survive chaotic mornings.
All right, Natalia. If you were a rainbow unicorn, I was a confused businessman. This happened last year. I had an important morning meeting. I wanted to look serious, professional, like a man who knows what he's doing. So the night before, I ironed a perfect white button-up shirt. White, clean, sharp. It looked powerful. In the morning, I woke up early, which already shocked my body. I made coffee, got dressed, looked in the mirror, and thought, oh yes, today I am success. I left the house feeling like a CEO of my own life. And then, the tragedy. On the way to the office, I bought another coffee, because the first one wasn't strong enough for my new CEO personality. I walked confidently, with big businessman energy, until a woman bumped into me. Just bumped. Not a big deal. But her cup was full of hot chocolate. Hot chocolate. It exploded like a brown volcano all over my perfect white shirt. Chest, sleeves, collar. Everywhere. I looked down and realized I now looked like a man who fell asleep in a chocolate fountain. The woman screamed, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." I said, "It's okay. It's fine. I always wanted a shirt with a unique pattern." She laughed. I did not. I went into a shop to buy a new shirt. Any shirt. But the only size they had was too big. Way too big. I looked like a boy, wearing his father's shirt. But I had no choice. I went to the meeting, looking like a confused magician. who lost half of his props. My boss looked at me and said, "Rough morning?" I answered, "No, sir. This is fashion." My morning was a disaster.
Okay. I think today we proved something very important. It doesn't matter if you look like a rainbow, a detective from a low-budget movie, or a businessman covered in hot chocolate. We all survive our mornings. And we all survive our fashion mistakes. And honestly, that's what real life looks like. Not perfect. Not elegant. Just human. Real life isn't perfect, and that's okay.
Exactly. And the best part? Every strange morning, every ridiculous outfit, every chaotic moment becomes a story you can laugh about later. And stories help you learn English faster than any textbook ever could. I learn from real stories.
So if your morning was messy today, you are in the right place. If your outfit was confusing, also the right place. If you laughed with us, perfect place. Let's take all of this chaos, all of this energy, and all of this English, and use it to make tomorrow just a little bit brighter.
Thank you for spending your time with us today. You listened. You repeated. You laughed. And you learned. That's a perfect combination.
And remember, English grows when you use it. So repeat this episode again tomorrow. Practice the phrases and tell your own funny story about clothes or mornings. I improve a little every day.
You absolutely do. And we're here to help you continue. See you in the next episode of English Unlocked Real Talk.
Bye.